Hey guys, so last night I started recording, didn't realize I didn't have enough room on my chip for another video. So things went weird. Apologize. Alright, so with videos cleared out, we should be fine tonight. So this is a High Mountain White Badger brush from, the knot is from Elite Razors. And this is a Leo Frilot handle. And this was made for the Shave Market 5th anniversary, kind of special edition. I don't really know what that organization or establishment is. I just bought the knot when I bought the brush. The knot was my main focus. We're going to use the feather. We're going to keep using that. 5th use today. So it's a pretty young feather. The soap we're going to use is the Sego version of the healers, and that comes from Zingariman. And I've been wanting to check out the healers for a while. It is a scent that is sweet citrus, cucumber, and pineapple. So it was also one that is a benefit type soap. Samaritan's Purse is an organization that really works around the world to help folks, and they are helping people in New York City regarding the COVID pandemic. And so Heather Melton of Zingariman decided to put that soap out, and $5 of every purchase for it goes to help Samaritan's Purse do their benefit work. It was sold out when I checked it just now, and we are 4 months after when she released it roughly, and so that's probably why. I don't know if she's going to make any more or not. All right, and then finally, the main hardware looks like kind of like a vintage Gillette Tech, but you can see it's kind of got a thinner head than usual, and it's got a hollow handle. So that means that one of the things this could be is a Psycho Tech, is the casual, not politically correct name for this razor. It has a key that goes up in to unscrew the bolt to release the top cap. They didn't want to make it easy to get the blade out of the razor, because this was a razor that was given to inmates and people in mental wards and things like that. This way they couldn't hurt themselves with the safety razor blades. So to assemble, it's pretty cool. It's got this. Now how light this is? I bet this is a Zamac, razor. So it may not be brass inside. See that peak, the peak ridge? Sometimes that is a design that a lot of people really go after, I think. But we've got 4 posts in the corners, and that is going to keep the blade aligned perfectly. So we put it on there. So then the ward manager or the nurse would assemble the razors for everyone, and then they would have the key. It's a little hex bolt there. Now this is an aftermarket one that was made so that this razor could be used, because in many cases they would actually sell about 10 of these razors or some number like that, and then one key, because if one nurse or one that kind of person was assembling all the razors, you didn't really need to keep her razor. So sometimes the keys are more hard to find than the razors. So there we go. I shaved with it once before, maybe even twice, and it was a wonderful shave. So I'm looking forward to that today. Get my brush back in the water. Okay. So, sweet citrus, cucumber, and pineapple for the healers. And this is, like I said, the Sego base, and it is a new, the current / new base from Zingariman. And I have shaved with, I think it's the Wanderer in this base, and it was a very good soap. People are really also raving about her balms, and it's the people that I hear talking about it, I trust a lot, so I'm sure they're very good. Okay, so I'm going to pause you while I put this in the bottom of this. All right, just smelling it dry in the tub, I don't really get the cucumber very much. I get mainly the sweet citrus, which I'm cool with, and a little bit of pineapple. It's nice. It's nice. I like it. All right. So the razor's loaded. Let me get my face wet, and we'll start working on this lather. And as the post shave, I've got this sample of Barrister and Mann Reserve Spice that's just kind of burning a hole in my travel bag. So I feel like that'll be a fun way to end the calm, easygoing shave with the healers and spice it up at the end. I do like the Old Spice type scent. All right, with this brush, I've shaved with it a few times and I'm really happy with it. It holds a lot of water. I'm shaking most of it out now. And so that you can have more of a view on the bowl, I'll tilt you down just a bit. So this is Elite Razors High Mountain White Knot, and I really enjoy it. The water here, I believe, is pretty soft. Don't have to deal with the horrors of hard water that I usually have at my house. Two teaspoons of water. I've had two shaves with the Sego base. One of them, 1/4 teaspoon, produced 6 passes of lather, and I used about 3 or more teaspoons of water. The other one had about a teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon of soap, and just 2 teaspoons of water. And I had like 4 passes of lather, and so they kind of disagree a little bit on which approach I should take. So we'll just kind of see what today brings. Well, this is a terrific looking lather as we continue to add water to it. This knot holds a lot of lather. I don't have tons in here, but I bet it'll be enough to do the job. And then let's just kind of feel, see if maybe we could add some more water. No, this feels really good. It might be able to take a little bit more, but I think this feels really good. All right. So let me get my face wet one more time. And let's bring in the lather. I'm going to scrape away some of what's on the side so that we don't maybe have too much soap fall down the drain, and we'll just see what happens here. Oh yeah, I like this scent. The pineapple's coming out because it is a pretty peculiar scent. And the citrus, the sweet citrus is there. I really like this. It's my first impression. On Netflix, I've been watching the Star Trek The Next Generation for, boy, I don't know, a couple of years. I didn't think it was that long. And I just got to like the end of season 6 or 8 or something like that, and I watched the episode. Then I go to watch the next one on Netflix, and it's the behind the scenes, because apparently what I just watched was the finale of the whole show, and I didn't know that. I've done that a couple times on Netflix, because when you are watching the show kind of live, then you hear in the news or in the show, in the commercials, you know, final season, things like that, right? Well, when you binge, well, I didn't binge watch it. I would kind of watch like one episode a day. It's one of those shows that's nice to watch while maybe you're working on some stuff, because it's not interesting enough to sit down and watch the whole show, especially since I've seen a lot of them. But it's interesting enough to keep your attention, keep you from being bored while you're working on other things. And so that's I've used some different shows like that: MASH, Frasier, some Night Court, Hogan's Heroes. All right, here we go. So now I'm going to have to rewatch. That whole episode. I mean, which will be fine, but, you know, because the actors obviously knew that they were filming the last one. But I didn't. As I was watching it, it did feel heavy. It did feel like maybe a season finale, but I didn't know that it was a show finale. Also, it was a good behind the scenes episode. So we're hearing a little bit from the blade here, but it doesn't feel scrapey. It doesn't feel unsecure, inconsistent. It's got a nice feel to it. Good comfort. This is a nice razor, and it seems to be wielding the feather well. Yeah, this lather feels terrific. Put it down here and hit that area one more time. Now we'll rinse. So if any of you guys are like the new generation of Star Trek there, then, and you never caught, and I didn't even know it existed, this behind the scenes episode, get on Netflix if you have an account, check it out. One cool thing, he went through and did a little bit of they explained some of the different aspects of the show. You know, the set designers, the kind of the fact checkers, the science people. It was really pretty neat. And one little trivia bit, on the transporter pad, you had the center big kind of disc for freight or multiple people, and then you had the individual discs. And the glass, if you look in the ceiling, the discs that are mounted in the ceiling are actually the floor discs from the original series, Star Trek. I thought that was pretty cool. All right. Jonathan Frakes did the kind of the narration. As always, I'm keeping a light touch here. And it's very comfortable. So this is another, I don't feel, this is another razor that is wielding the feather in a very secure, comfortable way. A lot of times the feather can be a razor, a blade that really kind of bites people. I know it did when I was a new shaver, and so I did avoid it for several months. But then once my technique got better, I was able to come back and use it without a problem in many, many razors. Nice, close shave here. And rinse. So this soap, as you might guess from the title of Healers, the Healers and the soap artwork, if you look it up on the internet, on her webpage, is, as you might expect, a tribute and an honor to those people in the healthcare industry especially, who are putting themselves in harm's way during the pandemic. And they're choosing not to quarantine themselves. They're choosing not to stay at home because their jobs require, if they want to do them, for them to be in contact with people. I myself have a close family friend who works in the mental health industry, and she did contract COVID. She is not an old person, and so hopefully it's not going to give her any problems down the road. Hopefully we don't discover that there is some other side effects. I think, what do they say, and some heart problems maybe, potential for heart problems down the road if you get COVID, but hopefully we can do some good study and vaccine development and things like that to help with all that. All right, one last time with the feather in the Psychotech, and this lather is terrific. Feels great. It's really slick. Let's feel it in my fingers here. It's creamy. It is wet. It's not ultra top tier for me. There are some other soaps that I have a little bit more substance while they're this wet. But this is terrific. The kind of slickness I'm feeling here is a light, silky type of coating on my fingers, and it does feel very good. I'm experiencing a nice slick shave in terms of how the razor moves across my face. So this is a very good soap base in my opinion. Now this is a tech, and so it is a mild razor. So right now, since I have shaved 2 previous passes with a nice sharp blade, I'm not really feeling that I'm catching too many hairs, and well, that's good. But take your time and work on your angles, because you can really polish off the ones that are still remaining if you keep your technique and your angles right. I'm going to try to find a way to look around the camera because it's suction cupped to the mirror, but the mirror, this particular mirror, is kind of big and narrow. There's not a lot of room. And there we go. Oh yeah, see the residual slickness, this just feels really good. And it is a wonderful scent. Unisex, they said in the description of the scent, is, and I would agree with that very much. I think anybody would find this enjoyable. Am I ever picking up any of the cucumber? Maybe, but it could just be the power of suggestion. Time for cleanup. Now, Heather of Zingariman knows a lot about skincare, and so she hasn't been able to marry that with her shaving soap to produce something that's slick, but also something that really helps your skin. And so, unlike me, if you have dry skin, then this soap may be of particular attraction to you, this soap base, because it does contain moisturizers, and my face just felt tremendous as I was working on the rinse. Now we will get this aftershave open and Reserve Spice. This seems like it contains like 2 doses. I always feel bad because it usually evaporates. You can't really seal them up again once you let them loose. So hey, maybe I'll take the spice and put it on my arms and enjoy it while I have it, right? Pretty cool. So the spice is part of the reserve line, and the reserve line is Will of Barrister and Mann's special effort to take wonderful classic scents that perhaps have undergone some revisions over the years and step back to the amazing scents that they started out to be, and try to duplicate those so we can enjoy them now. And spice is, of course, Old Spice, and I really enjoy it. I can't. The Reserve Spice and the Reserve line of soaps, they've been a little tricky for me to try to dial in to my level of hydration preference, and so they've kind of dropped on my list as a base, a few notches down from some of the top tier stuff that's working a little bit better. But this aftershave is really nice. Today's soap water ratio is 2.5 teaspoons for a 1/4 teaspoon of soap. And we pretty much ended up with kind of the perfect mix. Enough in here for, I could probably squeeze 2 passes out of this, and we're good. This brush, just tremendous, felt great during the use. Very soft. This is a big splay. I like it. I like the Elite High Mountain White. Soft, medium backbone. It doesn't shove me around. It really takes advantage of those soft tips, and the feeling is just luxurious, comfort, soft. Love it. And here's where this beautiful bloom looks like at the end of the shave after being stropped on the towel, kind of dried off. Just a wonderful, big knot, soft, dense. Make sure you rinse it really well, get that soap out of the core of it. So being done with the shave, the patients or inmates would then take their razor back to the nurse or station, turn them in. That person would have the key, and we can unscrew that top cap. And it'll lift right out. So when you're carrying this razor around, you do have to make sure you bring the key with you, or you're not going to be able to put a blade in it. If you're curious about what time frame these razors were produced, you can look. I believe it's 50s and 60s. And this particular razor, I think, does have a date code on it. And I did print that and the year in the description of the video, right near where I listed the name of the razor, so you can look that up. So here's an example of what those little wax dots do that are on a blade, what they can do to the top cap and base plate of the razor parts. And so sometimes it just takes a little bit extra scrubbing with your washcloth to clean those out if you want to do that, or if you're using it over and over to shave with the same razor, you could just let them be there each time and then clean it at the end. So I'm a big fan of that Healer's scent. Sweet citrus, cucumber, and pineapple. Mainly the sweet citrus and the pineapple were the players, and maybe a hint of cucumber too. And I could see how that cucumber would add just a little bit of something special to it, so I think it definitely has a place in the mix. Light, very enjoyable. I could see having this as a balm, you know, and enjoying that too. I don't know if she's going to re-release this scent as a part of something else in the regular rotation. Sometimes when guys do a benefit soap, they will use that scent somewhere else so that they can use it for the benefit, and then if people really like it, to have it put it somewhere else as a part of the regular lineup. I know Sterling did that with no Sterling didn't. For the R for L Responders for Life soap that they did, they used the Gray Vetiver scent from Tom Ford, something inspired by that, and I don't think they brought it back as in part of the regular lineup. But that same scent is available as Fresh Vetiver in Fine Accoutrements. Pretty much exactly the same scent. I'm a big fan of that one too. And I'm really enjoying this spice scent as I'm moving around cleaning things up. Pretty cool. All right, well, there we go. Zingariman Sego. Glad to get another shave with that soap base up on YouTube to help people out. To know that it's a good quality shave soap, especially for you guys who need moisturizing abilities. I don't quite need that as much, but it's there if you guys need it. I've interacted with her online, and she just seems like a really terrific person. So a good small business to support. And I do need to get, I've already got a list of her soaps in a kind of a notepad of mine, and I need to go through and write down the notes and reviews from people to see which one I'd like to kind of bring into my collection in the full tub set. I tried Wanderer before, and I believe that was that a barbershop? I think that was her barbershop, and I thought it was a decent barbershop scent. So that's pretty cool. We'll try some more as well. All right, guys, I think I'm all packed up, ready to go home or go away. You take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves, and I hope there's been something in this video to help you out. You have a good night.